The match returns with the Barclays League champions and the FA Cup winners. Whoever wins today will go into week 5 of the new season ahead of the rest. It could be the last at Anfield for John Barnes. The Footballer of the Year has been Liverpool's man for all seasons.
So he will find defenders back. Here's John Barnes. This could be number 4. It is. It's a good bit of play. And he's put it in. John Barnes for Liverpool. He buttons. Oh, brilliantly. What a fabulous free kick goal. Right, goes through him again.
Manchester United's Rookie of the Year is Mark Robins. His goals took United to Wembley. Nicknamed Rummenigge at Lilleshall's School of Excellence because of his resemblance in style and technique to the legendary West German international Karl-Heinz. 3 goals in the last 2 league games, plus 1 for Young England as well. And if you want to know who's got the best football team, watch the match. Starting today, where the action always speaks louder than words.
Well, it's a lovely day for football and a smashing atmosphere here at Anfield for one of the league season's major occasions. Well, I guess even those of you at home who aren't totally committed football fans know what Liverpool and Manchester United are all about. So just sit back and enjoy it in the company of Brian Moore and Laurie McMenemy, who I'm delighted to say is joining our team of experts for this series of the match. Brian.
Thanks, Elton. I echo that. It's good to have Laurie with us. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, from the commentary box. Let's first check on the 2 teams.
And indeed, if you've got your special match magazine incorporating the club programme available at newsagents for all our live games this season, here's a rundown of the teams. With Liverpool first, with Bruce Grobbelaar in goal, 2 Glenn Hussein, 3 David Burrows, 4 Steve Nicol, 5 Ronnie Whelan, 6 Gary Gillespie, 7 Peter Beardsley, 8 Ray Houghton. Both Beardsley and Houghton were left out of the winning side at Wimbledon last week. 9 Ian Rush, who's never scored against Manchester United. 10 John Barnes, who certainly has. 11 Steve McMahon. The Liverpool formation, familiar to us all, of course, but still mighty difficult for opponents. Beardsley, Barnes and Rush, a formidable strike force looking to keep Liverpool's 100% record a reality. Manchester United with Les Seeley in goal, 2 Dennis Irwin, a summer signing from Oldham, 3 Clayton Blackmore, 4 is Steve Bruce, 5 Mike Phelan, 6 Gary Pallister, 7 Neil Webb, 8 Paul Ince, 9 Brian McClare, 10 Mark Hughes restored to the side, 11 20-year-old Mark Robins, who kept Hughes out last week. Big decision to play Robins and Hughes together up front. Presumably McClare drops to midfield with Webb, Ince and Phelan. Substitutes for Liverpool, Ronnie Rosenthal and Jan Molby. For Manchester United, Russell Beardsmore, Mal Donaghy. Lester Shapter, our referee from Torquay, waiting to get the game underway. So away we go. Liverpool in the all-red strip. Attacking the goal to our left. Manchester United in their new change strip. A speckled blue shirt with blue shorts. Liverpool with this 100% record. Manchester United, for their part, have also made a good start. As Alec Ferguson said, we've made a decent start. They've made the perfect one. Indeed, Ferguson's record against Liverpool not to be sniffed at. Played 8 since he became manager of Manchester United, and they've lost only 2 and have won 3. Hughes, Irwin, Webb, towards Robins, Hussein policing him there and getting the ball back to Bruce Grobbelaar. Mark Robins, the 20-year-old from the FA School of Excellence. He scores something like 50 goals a season over the last 3 seasons in each of them for various Manchester United sides. A real big prospect there. Rush getting in. Houghton. McMahon. Burrows getting away from Phelan. Claimed the ball went out of play. And indeed it did. Both sides wearing black armbands this afternoon in memory of David Longhurst, the young York City striker who died so tragically last week. There was a really moving 1 minute silence, rigidly observed here at Anfield just before you joined us. A really moving moment. You could have heard a pin drop. McClare. In a wonderful atmosphere on a glorious afternoon. Phelan now taking it up for Manchester United. Hughes up alongside him. That'll be a simple one for Grobbelaar. Nicol, who missed Scotland's midweek game with an injury, but he's fit here. Hussein, Gillespie. Alec Ferguson had thought about Laurie McMenemy playing with 3 central defenders, but it's a flat back 4.
He spoiled my choice really at the minute because the team's had such a good start. The interesting part of his selection today is really up front, Brian, isn't it? With everybody wondering whether young Mark Robins is going to push the old favourite Mark Hughes out, and Alex says no, let's play the 2 of them. And I don't think that Liverpool will be too happy to hear that, but whether they can work together, it remains to be seen.
Well, Phelan, it's a busy start by Manchester United. Owen playing it in, a flick on by Webb. Two front men then for United. But Kenny Dalglish, of course, so clever with his manipulation of his powerful squad. He always picks a team for a job. Hence, Beardsley and Houghton were sitting on the bench last week at Wimbledon when they really had to fight to win against a really spirited Wimbledon performance. But both Houghton and Beardsley are back for this one. In fact, there's Houghton trying to get Nicol away, but a goal kick. Kenny Dalglish obviously believing that today's, shall we say, a better environment for the likes of Beardsley and Houghton. Beardsley playing up front with Rush. Barnes just lurking in behind them. A good jump by Hussein. Robbins, McMahon, Whelan, Bruce. Total commitment, as you'd expect, to break on now. And Gillespie losing it. Hughes now getting through for United, but the flag is up. The flag is up. But Robbins and Hughes looking very effective there, pouncing on that partial mistake by Gillespie. The linesman's flag brought them back. Here's Whelan. Up to Beardsley. McMahon had made the break, but Webb is there secure for United. It's being played at a frantic pace at the moment. But then games between Liverpool and Manchester United usually are at the outset. And there have been some classics over the years.
I think often recently, Brian, Manchester have come here fighting for pride as much as anything. Last year they finished, what, 13th in the league, but this year Alex had a very good start, and they're hoping, of course, to finish one above Liverpool, and if anybody does that nowadays, it means that they win the championship.
Well, indeed, if United, it's a big incentive. They win here today, they go top of the first division. Hughes. In goes Clayton Blackmore. Hussein hustling away there into his own penalty area. Whelan back to Grobbelaar.
We've got to talk about defensive systems these days, Brian, and sweepers and such like, but as Graham Taylor's pointed out regularly over the last few weeks, it's about having defenders in certain parts of the field and allowing other defenders to go forward. And Clayton Blackmore is a good example of that at the minute. He's up there in the attacking third most of the time because that's where the game's taken him.
Here's Webb, though, for United. Here's another defender coming forward. Irwin. Crossed in, and a good cross in there, a flick on, and it was Robbins there with the header, and Grobbelaar had to be alert.
Well, that's a great example of what this young kid's all about. I mean, this is a half chance because he must see it very late, and he's not only getting a touch to it, he's trying to direct it with a bit of power. But fortunately for Liverpool, Bruce was right in the way of it.
Now Beardsley. Whelan. Way off the mark there. He scored a stunning goal last week at Wimbledon, and I'm sure he won't need me to remind him, a grotesque own goal against Manchester United last season at Old Trafford. It's either feast or famine, it seems, with Ronnie Whelan. Gillespie, but it went over his head. It's Burrows who gets it back. United springing forward in defence, catching Beardsley offside. Webb. Pallister. Bruce, who starts a 3-match league suspension after this game, but of course is eligible for United's first appearance in Europe next Wednesday. First appearance for some time. Against the Hungarian side, Pecsi Munkash. Just a reminder to you that that's a game also that you can see live on ITV at 8 o'clock on Wednesday night. European Cup Winners' Cup, Manchester United. McClare. Oh, just wide. Grobbelaar straining to get to that one.
Another indication of the problem that young Mark Robins can give defenders. He put the defender under pressure there, and the header out was not a good one. And Manchester United are supporting each other very well at the minute.
And United who are making the half chances at the moment.
That's right.
McClare, or rather McMahon. Webb to Hughes. Ince is up alongside him. Robins is up there as well. But Liverpool shut the door again and then release John Barnes, who in turn finds Rush. Barnes. Strong challenge there, but a fair one by Webb. Here's Mike Phelan. 9 minutes of the game gone if you've just joined us. 0-0 in the big game at Anfield. Liverpool against Manchester United. Rush. Beardsley. Whelan's gone on a sortie away on the right-hand side. Beardsley with a little twinkle toes. Stopped at the last by Bruce.
Just a little reminder there to Manchester that there's a few good players knocking around against them, and there's a lot of teams come here and taken the game to Liverpool over the years because they feel that they've got nothing to lose. And they've just got to be careful that they don't throw too many bodies forward, because you've got the likes of Peter Beardsley who's pushing for the regular players here at the minute, and that's it all adds up to a good game for us.
A flick on by John Barnes, a goal kick. Peter Beardsley, who scored twice here this season in the 2 previous home games against Nottingham Forest and Aston Villa, then dropped against Wimbledon. Here's Barnes. Lovely little twinkle-toed run here by Peter Beardsley, so typical of him. And at the end, it needs Steve Bruce to get in to get it away. Bruce again, supported well there by Pallister. Back to Leslie.
I think this lad's matured now. It must have been very difficult for Pallister to come with that massive transfer fee around his neck, 2.3 million. And I think him, of all of the players, benefited from the great cup win at Wembley.
Barnes to McMahon. John Barnes again. Lovely ball played there towards McMahon, played in there. Beardsley! was onto it. It was almost in danger of being an own goal there by Steve Bruce. That's the killer ball. And then McMahon adding to it. Bruce in trouble. Seeley could only half stop it, and Beardsley finished it off. And Liverpool are ahead by a goal to nil. Robbins. Phelan, a deep one. McClare's in there with a header, but that's easy for Grobbelaar.
Good running from midfield there by Stevie McMahon. And they do share it out very well here, don't they? They've got Houghton and Whelan who can do similar things. And the defender, Stevie Bruce, was a wee bit unfortunate there. But the goalkeeper, Les Seeley, was wrong-footed. And they'll probably feel very unfortunate to be a goal down there after a bright start. But they've got to come back again, haven't they?
The record here is an excellent one. They've lost only one of their last 10 visits to Anfield. They've won 4 and drawn 5, United, but now they're the goal down. Phelan with the cross. It was well played in there by young Mark Robbins. Barnes. McMahon. So Peter Beardsley scores in his 3rd successive home game. And again, the manipulation of the squad by Kenny Dalglish works to perfection. And what is good about the Liverpool players, they don't seem to be too troubled when they do get left out. They realise that the squad system has to work if you're going to win a championship.
I wouldn't let that kid you, Brian. They're still a bit upset underneath.
Leclerc. Towards Webb.
Oh, yes. Oh.
Off the crossbar. What an escape there for Liverpool. And silence the clock for a moment as Webb stole in. And it was so close to the equalising goal.
Midfield players coming through like that has got to be a feature of this game. There's so many quality players around the midfield areas. And Neil Webb was very unlucky there. He was unmarked, but he'd sneaked in quietly.
McMahon. Dennis Irwin. Here's Robbins again. Arrows. And as far as Webb. Ince. Alistair. Leclerc's little touch. McMahon snaps it up. Here's Houghton. Beardsley to win. And now McMahon. Quarter of an hour gone. Liverpool leading by a goal to nil. Peter Beardsley the scorer. It's a glorious day here on Merseyside with a glorious prospect in this game, and certainly there's been no shortage of wonderful action in the first 10 minutes. Barnes getting away again from Phelan, gets between two of them. Barnes hitting it powerfully at Seeley. Gillespie.
A very good run of John Barnes. We saw everything about him there. His change of pace, his acceleration, his wonderful balance for a tall lad, and the strength of him. He's got a really strong body there when you look at the size of those shoulders. He was sandwiched between two defenders who are not too gentle in their own way, and yet he managed to bounce off them, keep his feet and still get a shot in.
It's almost as though they bounced off him, Laurie.
That's right. I tell you, when you get close to him, you realise how strong he is.
Rush. Beardsley. Charged down by Bruce.
It's not like the skinny little wingers of olden days, Brian.
That's right.
When you used to play.
Burrows. Stopped by Phelan. Phelan away on the right side of midfield for Manchester United. McClare away on the left. Beardsley. Burrows. Stopped by Phelan. Whelan. Blackmore getting that away. McMahon. Ince. To Webb. Webb and Ince really have to... McMahon in there on Ince. And Ince and Webb really have to impose themselves on those central areas now. The danger for United is that the likes of McMahon, who's a ferocious competitor, might just well run away with it. Ince to Bruce. Up goes Phelan, wins it in the air. Robbins trying to gather it up. Ince. Beardsley. Little touch. Here comes Whelan. Given to Webb. Cross there towards Mark Hughes with a header. Striking back well, Manchester United.
Yes, and two good passing teams here. Look at this. Neil Webb had time on the ball there, and he picked his man off. And a good, powerful header. But there again, Bruce is on the right spot.
Pallister versus Roche.
It's got to flow end to end because there's so much mobility in both sides here. And it's what our First Division should be about. Teams who can pass the ball to each other, are confident in their passing, and so often we see games where one team can do this and the other team is prepared to hit the ball over much longer distances, and it's not always so nice to look at as this game is sure to be.
Dennis Irwin has been trying for about 2 minutes to get his boot on. He played that ball with his stocking feet. That's how hectic the action is. The former Oldham and Leeds. He only played here once before, actually, for Leeds United reserves. I gather about 6 years ago. Atmosphere quite different today. Up goes Pallister. In goes McMahon again. Here comes Rush. McMahon's on ahead of him, but going the wrong way. Blackmore. Hit towards Hughes. McMahon. Burrows. McMahon. To Barnes. Webb. Hitting it again. Grobbelaar chasing it. And Nicol. Once a little bit of confusion there, but you don't often see. Grobbelaar came a long way. Nicol wasn't sure. Decided the ball in the cop would be the safest bet.
Well, Bruce went on a little walkabout there, didn't he? It was a good cross insofar as it was bending away from the goalkeeper. A bit too high to be effective, but I think Bruce was on his way to Zimbabwe to try and get his passport out of there.
The first corner of the game. Up goes Pallister. Oh, suddenly it was a free header for Robbins, and it dropped unexpectedly for him. I think he'd maybe expected Pallister just to get a flick on just ahead of him.
Well, this is the sort of chance that you put your money on the young lad to pop in, because he is unmarked, as you say, Brian. He's in the 6-yard box, and I don't think he could believe his luck. Great character, Bruce, isn't he, Brian?
Yes.
It would have affected lesser keepers. I think that's coming out and missing it, but he just had a little smile and said all's well.
Here's Phelan. Stopped by Burrows. He's having a steady old game at left back at the moment. Not much getting down that side.
Well, I was at Wimbledon last week and I got a bit of leg pull from the Liverpool camp, and David Burris kept shouting things to me, and apparently he was trying to remind me about the under-21s.
Yeah.
But unfortunately for him, he's about 6 or 7 months too old by qualification, I think.
But he's developing into quite a steady defender here for Liverpool. Here's Rush. And away comes it. Short to Blackmore. Tries to get it to McClare. who's got Phelan on one side, Robbins on the other. Hughes was darting in there, stopped by the long legs of Gary Gillespie, standing 6'2". And I hope you at home are enjoying as obviously as much as the crowd here are. There's a lot of good applause right around Anfield, as Laurie was saying. Two good passing sides, putting on a good, fluent display at the moment. Up goes Barnes. Cup, who's hardly been in it yet. Nicol to Gillespie. Burrows. Bruce shouting mine, leaving Pallister in no doubt. And McMahon jumping all over Webb to make it his as well.
It's funny, they look quite friendly, those two, at the England camp the other day.
Pallister. Only just getting it to Bruce. Hit forward, Gillespie versus Hughes. Hughes beating off the challenge. Way over the top. Good to see Webb in action again. Just about a year ago, in fact, that he had that terrible Achilles injury playing for England in Sweden, which just about ruled out last season for him. Went through the challenge. There's the McMahon versus Hughes. Back to Webb, and a goal kick.
So Manchester United play against Luton for, I think, 50 minutes with 10 men and won 1-0. And Neil Webb controlled the game, Brian.
For the shot that's wide.
I'm tempted to say John Barnes is playing a bit like he does for England. I'll resist that.
Well, he certainly responded to the crowd on Wednesday night and had a terrific game for England.
Yes.
You were saying about Webb, though.
His passing was superb on the plastic surface, and 10 men against 11 spirited players. It brought the best out of a lot of people, especially Neil Webb and Paul Ince, who's on the ball there now.
Well, here's Ince, and here's Webb to Irwin. Irwin forward again, cut out by Burrows. Barnes losing it. Ince playing it to Webb again. Clayton Blackmore on the far side. United down to 10 men on that occasion at Luton, with Steve Bruce being sent off for what is called quite incorrectly a professional foul, but you know what I mean. In goes Pallister. A free kick to Liverpool. Liverpool already having beaten Sheffield United, Forest, Villa and Wimbledon. Barnes. A deep cross there. I don't think Houghton will get to it. Might just retrieve it, though. Under pressure from Leclerc, gets it to Nicol. Short one to Beardsley, stumbled at the crucial moment, and Bruce was able to get it away, but only hits Whelan with it. Out, Whelan. Rush. Barnes. Rush. Well, you just wonder, Laurie, seasoned pro that Ian Rush is, whether he just has this record on his mind and one that he wants to shake off, never having scored against.
It's lovely 1-2 here.
Manchester United played really well. Lovely ball by Barnes.
Yeah, lovely flick.
And then a very uncharacteristic finish by Ian Rush. 19 games he's played against Manchester United, never scored. It's a record that almost beggars belief, really. 19 attempts,
14 league games, 4 cup ties, and this season's Charity Shield. Gillespie. Liverpool leading by a goal to 0. Peter Beardsley the scorer. Back to Les Sealey.
You very rarely see a straight pass like that, which is often easy for the defender. Good players make angles for passes.
Hughes, beaten by McMahon. Rush coming back to help. Houghton, with that busy run of his, trying to get Nicol in. And the Liverpool crowd, as a man and woman, are on their feet claiming a penalty. Lester Shapter right on the spot. Well, there's no foul, no free kick, no penalty.
Good ball, wasn't it? Inside. Clayton's just struggling a wee bit. Yeah, he nearly did a forward roll as well as Stephen, but he does take size 14 boots, I believe, so maybe the toe cap got stuck outside the box.
Nicol getting it forward. Bruce. Back to Sealey. Phelan. Irwin. Robbins. Ince. Robbins to Phelan.
Bruce, Grobbelaar losing it. Webb with time to tee it up, and a little toe poke that had Grobbelaar grabbing it again.
He did very well there, Neil Webb, because he'd lost his footing. You see the little lad sharp turn, he checked there. Good cross from Phelan, one of the unsung heroes, I think, of Manchester United's team. He's not as glamorous as some of the rest, possibly. And Neil Webb's left foot slipped away as he struck the ball with his right foot.
But that's a couple of times that Bruce's judgment and handling in goal for Liverpool's been a little bit awry.
Well, he likes to keep things interesting, does Bruce, I think. He's blaming somebody else there, you see, good old pro.
Of course, it was this week that FIFA knocked on the head, and he thought that he might have an England qualification. Had already played for Zimbabwe. Leclerc versus Nicol. A free kick to Liverpool. Glenn Hussein. That will also go for the goal. Playing just about the half hour now. Peter Beardsley's goal after 11 minutes separates the two sides. Up goes Leclerc, away by Whelan. There's Pallister. And McMahon, who's never been out of the action in this game. Webb. That's a delightful ball by Webb. Leclerc finding Phelan. Now, Grobbelaar's handling here. Oof. And the pressure again from Hughes.
I think that's the point, Brian, that he has been under pressure every time when he's sort of fumbled a bit. But there's still a smile. I don't know whether Kenny's smiling at the minute.
Robbins tried to get Ince in. Whelan now for Liverpool. Houghton. McMahon. Barnes. Delightful ball again by Barnes. McMahon in for Beardsley. That makes it 2. And McMahon heavily involved again, and Beardsley where he had to be when it really mattered. McMahon's run once again, and Beardsley side putting it past Sealey. That That's 2 for Liverpool.
Yeah, it's about timing, this one, because I would have swerved lane from my very high position if Peter Beardsley would have been offside, but the timing of the run was perfect, and Neil Webb, of all people, played him onside. But Ian Rush, I don't think would be thinking about that record there that you mentioned before, but he certainly had an opportunity to have a shot and left it to Steve McMahon to carry on the move. A very wise decision.
11 and 31 minutes. Just getting a little bit nasty out there between McMahon and Hughes. Manchester United with a free kick. Sparky by name and Sparky by nature, and that could certainly be said for McMahon also. But Leicester Shapter's given the free kick to Manchester United, who badly need a repair job now. 4 in the Liverpool wall. Black ball, too high. Liverpool, incidentally, presented with a Barclays Eagle before the start in honour of their championship win last season. On their way now to 5 successive wins at the start of this season. That may be a presentation that has to be repeated next season too.
Well, Manchester must be feeling very frustrated now, because apart from the 2 goals, they really had as much play as Liverpool. But there's a hidden menace about Liverpool's 3 forwards that they don't appear to be doing much for periods of time, and then wallop, they're in there, right in their penalty area, and their finishing is deadly.
And Beardsley in again. Yes.
Yes.
Nicol brought down. That is a free kick this time by Clayton Blackmore. Ince must have said something to Nicol, because Nicol squared up quickly, but it was Clayton Blackmore who made the challenge. And Liverpool will get the free kick. Enter, I imagine, John Barnes. Well, Kenny Dalglish wants something done. Barnes scored twice against Manchester United at Old Trafford last season. So John Barnes, goal kick.
This is the sort of time that Alec Ferguson will want the referee to blow for half-time. He can't wait to get them in there, to settle them down, stop being frustrated, get back to your passing game, which was so good early on and gave them a lot of possession. Kenny Dalglish, on the other hand, doesn't want half-time, wants to carry this on because they're suddenly starting to come out from defence with more confidence. And obviously Peter Beardsley's looking for a hat-trick, and Ian Rush is looking for his first goal against Manchester United.
And I imagine the uncommitted ones watching the match live at home will also not want half-time to come, because it's a wonderful exhibition here at Anfield this afternoon. Liverpool leading by 2 goals to 0. 10 minutes to go to that interval. Beardsley, who's in really sprightly form this afternoon. Whelan. McClair. It's Pallister. Hughes and McClair getting each other's way. Ince almost lining up a shot, but Whelan was there to stop him. Blackmore playing it in. Gillespie away. Webb now for Manchester United. And Robbins, Hussein. Webb again, clipped off Whelan's head, up towards Hughes, trying to get McClair in. Robbins with the shot, missed wide. At a moment when Manchester United desperately need something to go their way to get them back into this match. Referee having another word with Mark Hughes. Temperatures rising out there a bit, but maybe Hughes needs a bit of attention. Some blood on the side there, yes, some blood on his mouth. Just flicks off Whelan's head. Hughes just plays it back. It just wouldn't fall for McClare. And Robbins plays it over, and it looked as though it might have been a little clash with Steve McMahon there that caused the injury.
Pretty sure that was accidental, Brian. It was Steve McMahon was looking down at the ball, and probably Mark Hughes, I think, ran into his arm rather than the other way, unfortunately.
Terrific record. He was top last season with 15. His last goals have been were in the cup final, the first in the 3-3 game, was McMahon. Pallister. Beardsley. Burrows. Beardsley. Now for Barnes. Crossed by him towards Rush. And in the end, it's Blackmore. Panic stations there in the United defence, who puts it behind for another Liverpool corner.
Wonderful cross from John Barnes there. Delivered with just the right amount of pace on it, and bending away once again away from the goalkeeper, who was committed to come, but every pace takes him further away from the ball seemingly.
Ince, and now Whelan. Back it goes again. Liverpool are in again here. Houghton. Rush waiting in the middle. The little chip to him. It was almost as though Houghton was trying to set it up for Rush. But here's Irwin. It was played just a little too firmly. Irwin. Tony Hughes is up, battling away there against Hussein. In goes McMahon. And Beardsley getting it back to Burrows. Beardsley is everywhere at the moment.
Manchester United have lost their shape a little bit at the minute, Brian. They've been panicked into trying to do a little bit too much each player instead of just sharing it all out and keeping players up there, whereas Liverpool now can afford to take a few chances, and defenders are coming forward where at first they were prepared to just pass the ball.
But his team are doing well.
Well, Kenny's an excellent manager, and he never gets too carried away, but he must be very proud of his players.
McClare. Liverpool leading 2-0. And here come Manchester United again. Webb playing it towards Mark Hughes. But for all the fact they're 2 goals down, United have played a full part of this, and it's a really enjoyable afternoon, Lloyd.
Oh, it's excellent, yes. And for the rest of the First Division, it's a reminder, of course, now that we're back on live television, that Liverpool haven't changed. They're still going to be the team to beat. There's no grey hairs yet there either, is there? Which has always got a few more seasons in him, Kenny.
He just finished playing. He had a testimonial match that was hugely successful.
He's taking up golf now, I believe. I'm more frustrated at that, I tell you.
McMahon gets it back. Pallister. In the end, it was Rush who hustled him into the error. And here's Beardsley. Looking for a hat-trick, but not there.
For a little fella, he does not frighten defenders. There was plenty of Manchester United players there, but they were all backing off, and somebody should have closed them down, because you can't have too many defenders backing into the penalty area. Not with the way he's striking at the moment.
Ince. A free kick to United. Steve Bruce with it. Dennis Irwin. Webb. That's a lovely ball again by Webb. Pallister's right in there. Ince is in there. Ricocheted wide and behind for the corner. They keep giving you these little moments when you think United might just do something, and Webb is playing some beautiful balls into the box. Ince looks as though he might have got a knock there.
Well, they were unlucky there because Gary Pallister, for a defender, kept that shot very low, but they forced a corner anyway, and to go in 2-1 would be tremendous
with it.
fun.
Pallister's head up, and Odelar collects above the head of McClure.
Burrows, Barnes.
Almost casually gets that away, although he was under pressure, to McMahon. Here goes Beardsley. Pallister's with him. Houghton. John Barnes. Houghton to McMahon. Delightful ball now for Houghton, but the whistle pulls him back.
Well, again, it's Ray Houghton's turn to get forward this time, and they're such an attractive team when they're going forward like this. But I saw it all last week at Wimbledon for half an hour. They were a dream team, and then after the break, Wimbledon put them under tremendous pressure. Different sort of style of play, but Liverpool had to defend for 45 minutes. So it's a fascinating game, isn't it?
Yes, you're right, Larry. For about 20 minutes there before half-time, you couldn't have wished to have seen better football anywhere. And they're starting to turn it on again now. Rush to Barnes. Back goes Phelan. In goes Beardsley, but Ince got the better of him. But here's Houghton. Great stuff by Liverpool here. It might come for Barnes. It is! It's number 3.
Fortune favours the brave, because the first shot by Stevie Nicol could have gone anywhere, quite honestly. This is sheer persistence. Had a little look up, slung his big boots, and up gets John Barnes, proving that he can do everything, John. Good header, planted right in the corner. Well, how can a team be 3 down after contributing so much to such an attractive first half?
Copper absolutely beside themselves with joy now. 3 up against Manchester United. 2 to Beardsley, 1 to Barnes. And you wonder where it's going to stop. Just listen to how the Copper enjoying it now. But he's still not satisfied. It's a free kick to Liverpool. It's in for Peter Beardsley.
I think it has to be said, the marking's not too good at the minute from Manchester United. Peter Beardsley received that ball totally unmarked. Only 10 yards outside the penalty area. And I think that they must tighten up in the second half back there.
It's with Webb. Long shots. There goes the half-time whistle. And it can't have come soon enough for Manchester United. Peter Beardsley put them on the rack with those 2 goals, and then the header by John Barnes capped it all off. And Manchester United find themselves, although they've contributed so much to a brilliant first half, 3 goals down. Liverpool 3, Manchester United 0 is the half-time story. Back to Anfield as we get the second half underway. Manchester United with a substitute on, Mal Donachie, a central defender, on in place of Gary Pallister. There's Mal, 33 years old last Thursday. Taking up his usual place. centre of the defence, although he has played full-back as well, alongside Steve Bruce. Blackmore gets it away, up to Hughes. Robbins to McClare. Irwin floating forward, but it's gone to Phelan. And now Bruce. A bit long again towards Hughes. A great jump there by Hughes, but Hussain getting it away. Donachie's first touch. It's Beardsley. By no means his first one. And sends Houghton on his way. Beardsley's up ahead of him. But Houghton tried just a little too much. And here's Donachie coming away. Hughes to McClare. Liverpool 3-0 ahead. Burrows back to Grobbelaar. Alec Ferguson refusing to comment as to why he's made the substitution and whether there's anything wrong with Gary Pallister. Beardsley to Barnes. Burrows to McMahon. Out. Swift challenge there by Donachie. Barnes floating it in again. Bruce that time. Irwin. Liverpool throw. David Burrows with it. Ray Houghton. Here's Barnes. Stopped by Webb. Well, United's most expensive player is off. We understand it is a tactical substitution. Although Donaghy has slotted into exactly the position that Pallister was occupying.
Usually means the manager's not too happy, Brian.
That's it, Laurie.
I don't blame him for not talking to anybody, man. I think Alec's pride would make it that he would politely say, if you don't mind, old chap, I'd rather concentrate on the game, because losing 3-0 anywhere in the first division at half-time is bad. Losing 3-0 on a Sunday at Anfield means that you should have gone to church in the morning.
Well, here's John Barnes. Now Peter Beardsley. Just time to greet a couple of players who would normally expect to be playing here. Alan Hansen recovering from a knee operation. Gather he's watching from home. Be a few weeks yet before Alan is back in the reckoning here. And Brian Robson, of course, still out of the Manchester United side. It'll be quite a few weeks yet before Brian is fit and raring to go. But we send greetings to both of them as Hughes puts it in. And a good header. And it might go. McClare was in there. Robbins was in there. A great header by Webb. And United so close to pulling a vital goal back there. Beardsley winning the challenge against Irwin. Rush. Whelan. McMahon. Rush. And Barnes. Flag up.
That's how your luck goes, Brian. A similar scramble in the first half meant the ball coming to Peter Beardsley to pop it in. It all went against Manchester United there, but it was a good spirited fight back, and it'll give them heart. A brave header. Bruce did very well, didn't he, to keep that out, but it bounced to a red shirt instead of a blue one.
Chance certainly fell to Brian McClare, and those are the chances that United really have to take now. Liverpool throw. Beardsley with it. Straight to Phelan, though. Bruce. Surely offside. Gillespie, flag up on the far side.
Brian McClair seems to have come into a more forward position on the left-hand side, Brian, here. And Phelan's wide on the right, so it could well be that they're trying to get in round the back or stretch Liverpool. I think it's a bit dangerous, really, because Liverpool are at their strongest when they control the middle of the field, and at the moment it's down to Neil Webb and Paul Ince to look after 2 or 3 very useful international players there.
You saw with that crowd shot there, it really is an absorbing afternoon's football as Beardsley takes it up again. He's got a hat-trick on his mind. 2 typical pieces of Peter Beardsley opportunism so far today.
He's trying to make it hard for Kenny to leave him out next week.
Which, of course, is the big Merseyside derby at Goodison Park, just half a mile from here. Bruce gets it back. Mal Donaghy. Steve Bruce. Paul Ince. Bruce to Owen. Whelan. Rush to Barnes. McMahon turning away from trouble, finding space and finding Houghton. Forward to Beardsley. And now Nicol. Must be 8 or 9 passes now. Barnes keeping the sequence going, and then Ince gets it away for Manchester United to Brian McClair. So look at Beardsley again. Fights every cause, Peter Beardsley. Blackmore. Hughes. Ince. Webb. To Irwin. And Nicol under no great threat. And Grobbelaar seeking an explanation for that conceding of a corner. And it gives the poor beleaguered Manchester United fans behind that goal something to shout about and something maybe to look forward to. A very deep one there towards Hughes. Takes it nicely on his chest. Beautiful play there by Hughes. Knocked away by Hussein. Ince playing it wide for Irwin. And again Hussein is there. Rush away on his own. If he looks hard enough, there's always support. And that time it was Beardsley and now Burrows. Good cross there towards Rush.
Wonderful stuff, isn't it? And I think if we could have gone back far enough, I think Ian Rush possibly got away with a little bit of control with his arm when he turned on the centre circle there. But it all finished up with a good cross from Burrows and a powerful header. He must think he's never going to score against Manchester. But we saw earlier on one of the little secrets of Liverpool, which is so obvious, but not to all of the forwards. They have to work hard to regain possession. And Ian Rush first, and then Peter Beardsley, when they lost possession, battle to get it back again. And that's the bonus that they give to their midfield and their defenders.
Coming up to 10 minutes of the second half gone. Beardsley. Oh, Ince and Donaghy getting in each other's way, in a way epitomising the way United are in defence at the moment. Burrows finds McMahon. Here comes Barnes. Hit first time, a fumble by Seeley.
Excellent through ball again there. And John Barnes spotted Seeley off his line, and I think here it's a good ball there, but not under pressure by the defender. And I think he tried to lob that over Seeley's head. Bit annoyed with himself there.
10 minutes for the second half. Liverpool 3-0 against Manchester United. Up goes Webb. Back by Hussein to Bruce Grobbelaar.
It's a big week for Manchester United, isn't it, going into Europe after all these years, and they'll want some respectability really from this game.
And they arrived here with a fond hope that they might go into Europe again as leaders of the First Division, Laurie. But that certainly won't happen today now.
I think so.
Beardsley. Stopped by Bruce, supported by Webb. McMahon. There's Hughes. Finding McClare. Here's Robbins. Hussein held off him. Houghton went in, but Robbins still got it across.
You see the difference there when he had the ball out there. Ray Houghton immediately closed him down, and the back four behind him, the other defenders, had time to have a little look and pick up their men. That is the biggest single difference between the teams at this moment, apart of course from the quality finishing. Look at these forwards working hard again.
Now Ince with a mistake, almost getting Rush in. Corner conceded.
Forced error, Brian, is that what they call it?
That's a forced error, and the speed of Liverpool's thinking is just that much sharper all through the field at the moment than Manchester United's. So another corner for Liverpool. Barnes will curl in swinger. Rushes at the near post. Hussein has come up from the back. Rush goes to McClare, and he as far as Houghton. Here's McMahon for Nicol. Barnes again. Nicol. Goal kick.
Very versatile player, Stevie Nicol. Played in so many positions for Liverpool and of course Scotland. Very unassuming fella. Just gets on with it and is capable of scoring the odd goal himself. It's the manager's dream, him.
Hussein. Irwin. McMahon. Donaghy back.
Donny Kebab. I thought there was a Greek had walked on the pitch there.
Well, here's Dennis Irwin. It's an offside against Mark Hughes. Donaghy. Breaking out for Manchester United. Robbins is up ahead. Burrows will get there first. The flag was up in any case for an offside against young Mark Robbins.
I think that lad needs a service in the penalty area to be really effective.
Collision there between Beardsley and Robbins. Quite accidental. Yeah, I'm sure you're right there, Laurie. Alec Ferguson was saying in the week he's a player, Robbins, who only comes alive, really, in a football sense, when the ball's in the box.
Yes.
I mean, it's a priceless gift, isn't it, for any striker to have? But he really does come alive. So far today, gesticulation going on from the United bench. Barnes. Now for Beardsley. No. Donaghy there. Burrows playing it very deep towards Houghton. McClare right back to help out. Losing it to Rush. Well, United are beginning to make some of their own problems now. Another corner. Forward for Les Seeley. It's with Houghton. Played short there for Barnes. A back heel by him, only falling for Ince. And now Blackmore. Dummied Nicol. Bought himself a yard, but then didn't make good use of it. United's throw. Ince. Robbins. Beardsley away. Unfair challenge by Robbins on the Liverpool number 7.
He's been pushed further back towards his own penalty area, and that's the frustration of that. He'd much rather be at the other end of the field.
Out of 35,700 here today, watching Liverpool 3-0 ahead. Phelan with the header gets it away. But everybody except Grobbelaar are now encamped in the United half. Burrows to Barnes. Played beautifully there by Barnes for David Burrows. But the cross comes off Steve Bruce. Liverpool's corner. Smith Beardsley again. Now Barnes. Taking on Phelan. There's the cross. Rush for the header.
Must wonder when it's going to happen, but he's still going in there. Sign of a good striker. Still gets in there to miss him, but he's not really missing the target, so he's bound to hope that he connects properly with one. A little bit edgy, that one, wasn't it? But it made the keeper scamper across his line.
And Liverpool, you sense, building up another head of steam, but now Hughes trying to break away from Hussein. There's a free kick to Manchester United. Irwin, Phelan, Webb, came off McMahon. McMahon there, as Laurie was saying a bit earlier, there's always somebody supporting a teammate when you come to men in red shirts. Blackmore. It's a far cry from the charity shield that was shared at Wembley by these two clubs a few weeks back. 1-1. And United, in fact, were leading and were very aggrieved about a penalty award given to Liverpool. It's Liverpool who've taken it all by the scruff of the neck here this afternoon. 3-0 ahead. Barnes. Now Phelan. Webb. Blackmore. To Hughes. Robbins. Colliding with Ince. Plays a nice little ball in there for Leclerc. Gets it wide again for Irwin. This looks better for Manchester United. Gillespie there, though, and it'll come off Phelan. A goal kick.
That's the sort of play Manchester United started with, and then had the stuffing knocked out of them with Beardsley's goals. But the poor quality cross there is frustrating for them, because they had plenty of people forward in the box waiting to get a shot in, but the ball didn't reach them.
I wonder whether they might be tempted to bring on their other substitute, Russell Beardsmore, who's got a good record and a good crosser of the ball, and can bring a bit of width to Manchester United's play. Good challenge there by Hussein. Barnes now for Beardsley. Here's Burrows. To Barnes. Burrows encouraged to go down that left flank, hurling his long cross, but it's over the top, a goal kick.
There's no doubt that good team play always demands depth and width, and at the moment Liverpool have got the lot. Manchester are just trying to find some togetherness, really. They seem very stretched at the moment, and there doesn't seem to be a set pattern at all of their play. Full of endeavour, all wanting to get back in the game. There's Stevie Bruce at the back, G'ing them up. Neil Webb still a quality player, but frustrated because he isn't getting enough of the ball at the moment, actually.
Seeley. Hussain. Burrows. Houghton. Beardsley offside. The old here amongst the Liverpool fans today will treasure an afternoon to remember, at the moment at any rate, with Liverpool leading 3-0. Here's McMahon.
Good running off the ball there by Steve McMahon. They never sit on the laurels, Liverpool. They keep pounding away at you. It's very difficult to get back in the game when they're in this form.
Here's to McClair. Burrows. Now Donachie. Ince. Webb. Irwin. Ince. Good play by him. Now, what sort of cross? For Webb. Knocked on by him towards Robbins. Webb's in there again. McClair's in there too. And in the end, it was Whelan. But Ince hasn't finished yet. And McClair got a header in, but it came off Houghton, and it'll be a corner for Manchester United.
When you add up all the chances Manchester have had during the game, they'll feel hard done by that they haven't got one of them in.
Neil Webb with a corner. Barnes with a header away. Phelan. Now Houghton. Can't get it back. United throw. Now Irwin to take it. Played his first game for the Republic of Ireland in midweek against Morocco. Lad from Cork. Beardsley. Canny little ball there for McMahon. Good strong running by him. Rush coming back. Delightful play again by Liverpool. Superb passing movement this. Barnes. Now will they finish it off to Houghton? Well, everything was right there, perfectly so, except the finish. What a move, Norrie. Well,
this is what the old coaching manuals call third man running. It starts off with a nice ball to somebody who comes off, lays it back, and while that's happening, there's another man, in this case John Barnes, is on the move, and he got the perfect pass. It's just a pity from the purest point of view that it wasn't finished with a better shot. Good check there, good quality. Was his journey really necessary?
Got just a little excited at the end, I think, Ray Houghton.
No, he'd run a long way.
Now Hughes. Robbins on the far side. Oh, he's done well. I thought he'd beaten Burrows for a moment. It might still come United's way. No, Gillespie will make the clearance. Beardsley battling with Bruce. Hughes. And Hussain gets it away. Rush, I think, with arms flying there, caught Donachie. Blackmore. Hughes to Ince. Long-range shots. Barnes to Beardsley.
very few stoppages really, Brian, in this game. A bit of frustration crept in after the first couple of goals from Manchester's point of view, but since then they've gone on with it, and Stevie Bruce is leading by example. He's had one or two follies upfield, and you just feel that they're very unlucky today. I mean, I think that if they'd got one goal in, it would have made it up for a tremendous finish.
McMahon to Barnes. It's gone past Irwin. Beardsley and Rush are both waiting. And in the end, it's happened. Off the line by Steve Bruce. Well, an infinitely more difficult chance there by Ray Houghton than he had a moment ago, and he almost made that one count. Again, terrific work by John Barnes. A lovely, delicate floating cross. It was a little too far for the men in the middle, but not for Houghton. And Bruce, in fact, kicked it off the line.
It's amazing. You always expect John Barnes to get the cross in. It makes it look so simple and straightforward.
Certainly United will be hoping for a better result on Wednesday nights when they go into the Cup Winners' Cup against the Hungarian Cup winners. A reminder that that's live on ITV, and we shall indeed be covering exclusively both United and Aston Villa's exploits in their European campaigns this season.
Ronnie Whelan's a player we've hardly mentioned today, but he's been so effective there, just filling in when McMahon and Ray Houghton more recently have gone on these forward runs. But they share it out. That's part of the secret.
Beardsley. Delightful play again by Beardsley. Drawing applause from the Liverpool fans as he finds Burrows. Donachie with a header away. So many goals in the First Division this weekend. 3 more here today to add to the 29 yesterday. And just a reminder, you can see all 29 after the game from Anfield here today. At the end of the programme, the 29 goals in the First Division yesterday. And with a chance to win a couple of £1,000. Foul there by Robbins on Gillespie. Well, as so often is the case, Laurie, when you come here, most of the noise is coming from the right-hand side.
I think Manchester United just give the impression at the minute they're not that deep, but they just won't lie down, which is good. It's a good from a morale point of view. Not the first team to be taken to the cleaners here, but really you can't say they've been really heavily beaten, but the scoreline will look that way. The difference has been the quality of the finishing and the extra skill, I think, in certain areas. Plus, and I would think Alex Ferguson probably was upset about this at half-time, I think a lack of closing down in certain defensive areas.
Well, it's a corner for Liverpool. Barnes flicking it on. Webb getting it away. Phelan. Only Robbins is up, with both Nicol and Whelan to contend with. A little brush there for a moment with some of the Liverpool fans. All ended in smiles, thank goodness. McMahon now to Hussein. he comes alive in the box, and suddenly there was a little jolt right through all the Liverpool defence there as Robbins turned on that one. Couldn't have been more than a foot wide. Hughes. Stopped by Rush.
Most unusual there, but it was a sloppy pass from Stevie McMahon, only about 30 yards from his own goal, a square pass which was intercepted, and as you rightly say, Mark Robins comes alight when that ball's anywhere in the penalty area.
Whelan, good ball to McMahon, play to Hunt. There's Rush in a bit of space, now facing Donaghy. Then tried to get Beardsley or Barnes in. It comes to Barnes again. Burrows has made a run for him, and here's David Burrows. Oh, my goodness. Burrows has never scored a league goal for Liverpool, but he'll hardly come closer than that.
I think he means this as well. I mean, often defenders are accused of just hitting it and hoping. I think he really went for that corner. I mean, I think if the score had been 0-0, we might have had a few harsh words delivered to him from the likes of Messrs Beardsley and Rush, who were queuing up for a little crossing.
Well, to McClare. And Robbins. Still with Robbins. Knocked away there by Nicol, and then calmly put behind for the corner by Gillespie.
It's not going to be United's day, Brian, is it?
Terrific run again by Mark Robbins. From another angle, just look at his work here. I don't know whether he was caught after he'd played the shot. Maybe we'll get a better idea of it here. From yet another angle on the other side of the pitch. Strained himself as he...
I think Gillespie caught his knee there as he cleared the ball for the corner, but he really checked the turn on a tanner, as they used to say, and he had, what, 3 defenders and a goalkeeper sprawling around in the penalty area.
There's a little bit of sporting applause there for that run from Bruce Grobbelaar aimed towards Mark Robbins. Good jump by Gillespie. And away come Liverpool again. It's Hussein, the defender now. To Burrows, another defender. And Blackmore gets it back. It's Phelan. Webb to Irwin. Ince again. So he'll have another go. Finds Webb. Quickly closed down there by McMahon. Webb got better on that time. Hussein there. McClare's shot snatched badly. And behind to the goalkeeper.
They're still having to go on there. They're taking the game up there whenever they can. You always get the feeling that Liverpool can just break away, and they've got enough quality up there waiting for it to knock another one in. Fascinating game.
Delightful ball played there by McMahon, spotting Whelan coming up. Beardsley's gone off on a little run. It comes now for Houghton to keep the move going. A little chip by him towards Rush. Won't come for him.
Well, he must be very, very disappointed. That's one of the first he hasn't had on the target. The goalkeeper didn't have to save that, but a good example of midfield players again. 2 of them up there. That was Ray Houghton. Whelan was already in the box, and Stevie McMahon said, "On you go, lads, I'll hold the fort for you," and that's how they share it out. Good players all in all.
I think a substitution's being made. Ince is going off, and Beardsmore's coming on. With about 10 minutes of the game remaining.
I don't think Paul Ince has been any better or worse than anyone else. I think that Alex just trying to get that bit of whip you were talking about earlier on, Brian, which Beardsmore can produce on the right day.
He's put Phelan into a central midfield position, and indeed Beardsmore's have gone away wide on the right. Here's Phelan. Owen. Webb. Blackmore. Webb. Played in for Robbins. There's McMahon.
That's an example there, young Robbins, outside the box. His control isn't as good as in the box. In the box, he's cool, calculated, and usually spot on.
Some good chants coming up from the Man United fans. We will support you evermore. That's the real Man United fans there with their side 3 down. In pretty spirited form, as indeed, look at that, as their team are as well. As Laurie's saying, they haven't thrown the towel in for one moment, United, even though they are facing enormous odds. 3 down.
That's what makes these clubs so great, isn't it? Supporters are with them through thick and thin, and the players should be very proud to pull the shirts on for these clubs.
Whelan doing well there. McMahon slipping it forward to Beardsley. Tried to get Rush going again. The free kick very quickly taken there, but Beardsley's onside. That's his hat-trick. United racing towards the linesman. They thought Beardsley was offside. But the flag stayed down. Beardsley went on, and he's got a hat-trick.
Well, I must say my initial feeling was that Peter Beardsley would be offside.
Look it to me too.
Of course, we have got the new rule this year where if you're just even level, and we can't see it from that angle, it's still onside, and he makes it look easy. we assume he's going to score there. That's never in question. It's whether he's offside, but he still has to take a very quickly taken free kick. And you see as Ray Houghton delivered it, even before Peter Beardsley got it. Ray Houghton looked across at the linesman, you know. He felt that it might have been offside. We can't tell from where we are. He's not bothered. He's got free. What about that Kenny Dalglish, she says. Who we play next week? Well, I'll be on the bus.
Well, I don't think there's any doubt he will be on the bus for the shortest journey that Liverpool have to make. Half a mile across Stanley Park to Goodison Park. Liverpool 4, Manchester United 0. Peter Beardsley with 3 of them. Now Beardsley. A little back field there for Barnes.
All the party tricks are coming out now. Quarry and Rush is nowhere to be seen. It's amazing, isn't it? I think he's given up going in on them now, Brian. He says, count me out, I'm not going to score today.
And McMahon gets it back. There's a prime candidate. Not that I would want to choose the man of the match from Mr. Lauren Menemy, but I would have thought Peter Beardsley must be well in line for it. We'll get you to nominate that in the next couple of minutes or so, Laurie.
You're trying to influence me, Brian.
Now just listen again to the clock.
I think he's got to have a mention for his team selection. Not too sure the lads he left out would agree with me, but Kenny, I've seen in writing somewhere this week, said he's played about 15 players already this season, and he's not bothered if he plays another 15. Who can argue? It's top of the first division.
Clare trying to get to that one. Hussein gets it away. Houghton now to Nicol. Down the line to Rush. Played there by Houghton. Inch perfect again there at full pace to McMahon, and here's Rush. Giving away that time to Webb. Hussein holding up Robbins. Suddenly Hughes is in. Now Robbins, but Nicol puts an end to those Palm. Blackmore. Goes Hussain. Out. To Gillespie. Barnes. I say it's been a joy to be here this afternoon, to see the spirit of Manchester United in all the adversity and the sheer quality again of Liverpool Football Club. Leading now by 4 goals to 0.
I think that Alec will say, all right, let's get that one out of the way, lads. We've had an otherwise good start of the season, and let's take it out of these Hungarians on Wednesday night, and I'm sure they'll have a full house, and it's great for all of us that Manchester United are back into Europe.
Along with Aston Villa this season, of course. Here's Phelan. Phelan taking a knock as well. Laurie, I think this might be the moment where you have to nominate your man of the match. Just to see if the ball goes dead before we can just discuss that as it comes to Rush. And out of Whelan. Hussain. 2 minutes of the game left. Alton.
It hasn't been too difficult, Brian.
Right.
Without being accused of bias, I think the little Geordie boy, Peter Beardsley, there he is, chasing. Kenny Dalglish says, get back. Just because you've scored 3 goals, can't get away with defending, without defending, rather. Here we go again. Peter Beardsley, man of the match. What does he get? Half a pint in the Castle Brown Ale, is it?
Yeah, no, that's maybe what he would prefer, but he gets some champagne.
Oh.
He gets the Barclays man of the match champagne, as Robbins plays it back to Phelan. It's Hughes, stopped by Gillespie. Hughes tries another one. So there's the man of the match. Peter Beardsley with a hat-trick in a 4-0 against Manchester United. That goes Scotland. Well, everybody's waiting for Nicol to play. Extraordinary there. United was standing back just about for the first time in the game, and Nicol was just waiting to see who he should pass to. Phelan. Blackmore. Hughes. Robbins waiting in the box. Phelan. For a consolation right at the end of this game. Beardsmore has hardly touched it since he came on as a substitute. Stopped here by Burrows. Hughes now with the cross. Nicol trying to make life difficult for Mark Hughes. Hughes gets it to Phelan. Leading again to Blackmore. How can Phelan get his cross in? Houghton doing some good work again down this flank for Liverpool. And then Whelan puts it. United throw. Beardsmore. Lays it in for Robbins, then for Webb.
No.
Okay.
It's not going to go into there, Brian. And Liverpool will keep going, you know, because there's a lot of pride in professionals to keep a blank sheet. 4-0 is a magnificent score in the First Division against anyone, but especially against great rivals like Manchester United.
Donaghy away. Hussein's been as steady as a rock at the back for Liverpool this afternoon. And Liverpool indeed have had to do their share of defending. he is there.
And big boots, Brian.
There. Robbins. Nicol. It's not the first time Liverpool have given the ball away this afternoon. Beardsley gets it back, finds Barnes. They're up again. Burrows has made the break. But look at little Russell Bearsmore getting back there to hold him up. Final whistle. A glorious afternoon for Liverpool. Thanks to a hat-trick from Peter Beardsley. And a goal from John Barnes. Handshakes all round from Kenny Dalglish. Liverpool keep their 100% record, a clean sheet, 5 played, 5 victories. Everton next in the firing line next weekend. Manchester United, for all their spirit, mown down in that extraordinary first half when Liverpool got 3. And Liverpool now go 4 points clear at the top of the first division of the Barclays League. Peter Beardsley nominated by Laurie McMenemy as the man of the match. This is Anfield, and Manchester United know all about it. Just hoping to get a word with Peter Beardsley, the man of the match, in a moment. There he is. Let's hear from Peter Beardsley.
Well done, Peter. 5 goals in 3 home matches. Actually, you must be wondering whether you're ever going to play in an away match this season.
Well, we'll find out next week. It's never easy at this place, obviously, to come in, but it's nice to go in today. I didn't know until 2 o'clock I was going to be playing, but a great atmosphere, and the lads played magnificent.
Because you only play in the home matches, do you feel your position's under threat here?
Oh, no danger. There's no danger. Everybody's under threat, so hopefully today will help.
Now, what about Liverpool? 5 matches, 5 wins. The rest of the First Division must be thinking, oh, crikey, not again.
Well, we hope so. You know, we're just doing our best every week, and at the moment, like you say, we've had 5 wins. Hopefully next week we'll be making it 6.
Well, one bit of good news for you. Laurie McMenemy, the assistant England manager, loves you. Bottle of champagne, man of the match. Well done.
That's very kind. Thanks very much.
Peter Beardsley, it makes you wonder what the score might have been against a lesser team than Manchester United. Liverpool really were a class apart today. Well, after the break, we'll have more words of wisdom from Laurie McMenemy and a real hatful of goals for you. We'll be back. Well, Liverpool's 4 goals this afternoon extended their lead at the top. Maximum points, 5 out of 5. Well, there's a big night of European football on Wednesday night on ITV. Live, Manchester United against Péchy Munkacs. And later on at 10:40, recorded highlights of the UEFA Cup. Aston Villa away to Baník Ostrava. Well, of course, it was in 1968 when Manchester United won the European Cup. And it was the fulfilment of a great dream for Sir Matt Busby. United, of course, Laurie, really inspired the concept of English teams competing against continental opposition. It's quite nice they're carrying the flag again this time.
It really is, and it was nice to see Sir Matt Busby at our first England game, Graham Taylor and I, the other night. He was introduced to the teams, and he looked ever so well. And it is wonderful that Manchester United are carrying the flag back in again.
Smashing. Well, thanks indeed for joining us, Laurie. Graham Taylor will be with us on Wednesday at Old Trafford for that game involving Manchester United. Highlights at 10:40. And there's athletics after this. We'll see you on Wednesday. Bye-bye.